Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Kinsey. I am a fantasy writer pursuing traditional publishing, and today is super exciting because I am starting draft 5 of my novel Project Calliope. So if you've seen my last video, you might have seen me finish draft 4, which was my last round of developmental edits. So now I am diving into draft 5, which is going to be line editing and polishing up the prose. It's a huge moment for me to be getting this far. I've never taken a project this far before. I've never gotten 5 drafts into a project, so I am super excited. And I'm also just really motivated. I just finished draft 4 last night. I'm really excited to get into draft 5. So I wanted to take you along for the first couple days of starting this draft and just kind of do a couple days of my life as I work on my novel. Kenzie from the future here to say, I know the video right before this one was a finishing draft 4 vlog, and now this one is another finishing the draft vlog. I did not finish this draft in a week. The last vlog was filmed in May. I finished draft 4 at the end of May, I think, and then worked on draft 5 until mid-June. So it took me a couple of weeks to do draft 5. I'm just very behind on videos right now, so it's taken me a little bit to catch up with all of my footage and work through the vlogs that I had already recorded. So wanted to clear the air a little bit. I did not finish draft 4 last week. I'm not finishing draft 5 this week. This was filmed a while ago and it took me a couple weeks between the 2 drafts. So today I think I'm gonna be going to a cafe to write, but before we get started, I just wanted to show you the little bullet journal page that I made for tracking this process. So here is my sheet. It's a bunch of blobs, and each one of these is one of the chapters in my book. So there's 26 chapters and 26 of these little shapes. And as I finish each chapter, I'm going to color in one of the shapes. I'm shooting for 2 chapters a day because I think that's fairly reasonable while also kind of being a stretch goal. Hopefully, as we go through, I'll be coloring in 2 of these a day. Today is June 3rd. I am about to go for a swim because my apartment has a pool and I love swimming, so I'm trying to make the most of having access to a pool. But after I go swimming, I'm going to, I think, go to a cafe. I have been slowly chipping away at the beginnings of draft 5. I know it's been a couple days since I updated. It's not the fastest progress that I could be making, and I do want to pick up the pace a little bit. I am currently on chapter 3, which is about to be chapter 4. So what happened is I got to chapter 2 and I realized that it was a crazy long chapter. I decided to cut chapter 2 in half, so now it's chapter 2 and chapter 3. So now every chapter after is going to be bumped 1 down. And I think I might also cut a couple of other chapters into 2. I just finished doing chapter 2, which is now chapter 2 and 3. Now I'm on to chapter 3/4. So chapter 4. I am on chapter 4. I'm hoping to finish chapters 4 and 5 today. I haven't been really able to do 2 chapters a day so far, but I really would like to get to that point. So that's my goal. I'm gonna go for a swim and then I will be back to go to the cafe. Hello again. Swimming went good. And then I went to the cafe and that also went good. I edited 1 chapter, so I am done with chapter 4 at the beginning of chapter 5. So far I've edited 3 chapters. I'm counting the one that I split as 1 chapter since originally it was 1. Now it's 2, but we are making progress. Things are going good. I've been doing a lot of research into agents, which has been really fun, but also really, really, really scary. I will see you in a little bit. I'm hoping to get 1 more chapter done tonight. It is late, but I don't have work tomorrow, so I can stay up later. Should I? No. Am I going to? Yes. I'm just gonna do a little bit. I don't think it's gonna be very hard to finish another chapter tonight. Happy to report that I did finish another chapter and it didn't take me that long, so I opened up the next one thinking like, oh, maybe I'll start working on this one now. This chapter is 26 pages long. It's gonna have to get cut. It's gonna have to get split into 2. That sounds like a problem for tomorrow. I'm too tired to figure all of that out tonight. It's the next day. I'm about to sit down and do some writing. I also think that I want to do a little bit of reading before I start. I'm trying to get better about reading more. I've been kind of slacking this year on reading, but also I feel like it helps to inform your voice a little bit. I'm not sure what I'm gonna read. I have a couple things that I'm reading right now. I kind of want to see if I'm able to get a little bit more work done today because I do have the day off again. I'm just gonna start work and we'll see how things go from there. I'm still feeling motivated from last night. I also, when I was laying down to sleep, I was still thinking about the book and kind of getting more ideas for an upcoming scene that I know that I want to rework a little bit more than the scenes that I've been working on. And I got some, I think, pretty good ideas for little details that I can add to that section to make it feel more tense and more grounded in the moment, which are things that I have really wanted to work on for that scene because I feel like it's just a little bit odd right now. All that to say, I'm about to get writing. I'm gonna make myself a drink and then probably read a little bit and then I will sit down and get to work. This part of the process was surreal. At this point, I had been working on Project Calliope for nearly 2 years. I think like a year and 9 months. It was the only project that I worked on for that entire 2 years. And here I was reading through the document, mostly reading because there wasn't a whole lot of typing to do. Some chapters definitely had more than others, I think, but for the most part, I was just reading and double checking and putting my final touches on a novel that I had solely worked on for almost 2 years, and that was a really surreal feeling. My feelings about Project Calliope are pretty complicated, probably because I'm putting this video out during the querying process. Editing Kinsey has the context of what the next few months are gonna hold, whereas when I was recording this, I was just finishing my novel, putting the final touches on a project that I loved, that I was so excited for, so hopeful for. Not to say that I'm not excited or hopeful for Project Calliope now, just I think that those feelings were so incredibly concentrated when I was finishing this draft. I was reading over all of this work that had taken me almost 2 years to achieve, polishing off the best writing that I had ever done, and staring at the end. Every time that I sat down to work, every page that I read through was bringing me a little bit closer to closing the book and setting it aside, at least for now. This is going to be the last Project Calliope vlog for a while, if not forever. Let's hope not, but at least for a little while, this will be the last Project Calliope vlog. And I knew that while I was recording, so it was, I don't know, it just was a very strange feeling. I've recorded the entire process process of this from the moment that I first got the idea for it through every single draft. And so not only was I finishing up the novel, but I also was finishing up 2 years worth of videos. This is all to say that I was just having some very interesting feelings about getting to the end, and those feelings have kind of become more complicated as I've gotten further away from finishing the project, but that's a discussion for a future video. So remember when I was starting draft 5? I'm about to finish it. I have 5 chapters left in the draft, and I think that they're going to be pretty quick chapters, so I am imminently finishing this draft. I kind of just really needed to take some time away from vlogging. I have been kind of stressed about this whole process. I think the reality is setting in that this is the last draft before it's out of my hands, and it has just been really stressing me out. So I needed a little bit of time away. So I've been working pretty much every day on the draft. Typically 2 chapters a day. There's been a couple days where I did 1. There's been a couple days that I did none. It is currently June 17th, and I have done 3 chapters today, and I'm planning to do 1 more. If I do that, then I'll have 4 more chapters, which potentially could be finished tomorrow. That might sound crazy, but I am getting into the state that I usually get in towards the end of my drafts. When I get towards the end of a draft and I'm about to finish, I tend to get very locked in. All I can think about, all I can do, all I want to do, all I want to think about is the draft, and it can be very hard for me to tear myself away. I am getting that, but even worse because this is kind of the last draft. The last draft that's fully in my hands. If I hopefully get agented for this, I'm sure that I'm going to have to do more rounds of editing with my agent, and then if I ever sold this book, I would have to do more with the editor as well, but just on my own. This is the last draft. I'm really excited to finish this draft, but also it is becoming all-consuming. I just want to finish this draft. I want to be done with the book. I'm so excited, but I'm so nervous. All kinds of emotions. I'm gonna keep working tonight, and I'll probably update you tomorrow. I have the day off tomorrow, so I'm planning to just spend the whole day working. I will talk to you later. It's the next day, and I have finished my book. I finished draft 5. It took about an hour this morning. I did actually 3 chapters last night after I updated you. I only had 3 chapters to do this morning, and they were pretty light edits, so it only took about an hour, and now I'm done. I kind of just woke up and then got right to work. I will close out the video when I look less like this. I'm done! I'm done! So yeah, I finished the novel. I'm reflecting on this a while after I actually finished it, but I am so happy to be able to really call a novel finished. I've been writing for so long, and I've been taking my writing seriously for a really long time as well. So it's so exciting to be at this point and to be finally wrapping up a project, calling a novel done. I hope I can say that there's more in store for Project Calliope, but at this point I really don't know. After I filmed this vlog, I did start querying, but I'm probably not going to talk about that too much. Hopefully, eventually you'll be able to see a querying vlog, and that's about all that I'm going to say about it. For now that Project Calliope is done, I am going to be moving on to new projects and new stories, because either way, if Project Calliope takes off and I'm able to get representation for it or publish it or what have you, or if I'm not able to, either way, I'm going to need to write a new novel eventually, so I'm just going to write my next novel. That's really all that I have control of right now. I hope that you've enjoyed seeing the Project Calliope vlogs. At least for now, they're going to be coming to a close, but hopefully we'll see Project Calliope again someday. So for now, I hope that you'll stay tuned for my next project, and feel free to check out any of the other Project Calliope vlogs. I have made almost 2 years worth of content about this novel. I'll have new vlogs coming out soon about my next novel project, and until then, I hope that you're having a great day. Bye.